Hello everyone and welcome back to Wargame Red Dragon. We have a comparatively quick, roughly 10 minutes or so ranked game for you guys today. I'm playing against Yun Tianming, and I'm once again bringing Eurocore. Really been practicing with these guys for ranked recently, which, I mean, has its ups and its downs. I really kind of need to refine my deck a little bit because I have no cheap recon helicopters at the moment, and that is really a bit of a problem. It means I'm denied a lot of visibility, and you guys can see that happening right now. The same thing that Osama bin Lifton mentioned the other day. Just, I have no recon over Delta, and if I got a little bit cheesed in the opener, helicopters could be on their way roughly to Delta, roughly passing Delta right now, and headed right to my base, which could be very scary indeed, and I wouldn't even know it was going on. So I'm going with a relatively heavy push into India, which is one of my favorite tactics, and I'm also bringing over enough, hopefully, to secure Bravo and allow me to fend off any anticipated attack into Alpha, which was, to be clear, what I was expecting to happen, because attacking into Alpha from the blue force of the map seems to be pretty popular, so we'll see what they do. But we did spot a couple of units here, and including a Roland 3, which I was very happy to see that far up. I don't think my opponent expected this much aggression from me on this side of the map, so my 10 RC is looking for that if we can get just close enough here, but I don't really know. I mean, the Roland 3's tracked the AMX 10 RC's wheels, so we should be able to get in close and get a shot. It just kind of depends on max range, and it looks like he does get out. So I was kind of frustrated with that, just sitting there going, oh man, that could have been a nice easy pick, and instead, not quite so much. And my 10 RC is going to engage with something in the woods, and then gets a little bit too close. So I should have expected there was something unloaded there, and it is going to be Fallschirmjäger 90, but we actually get taken out from, I believe, the PH2 Tiger on the side, which this should tell you a couple of things. AMX 1390s are French, the Fallschirmjäger 90, I believe, are West German, yes. And that means we're both playing Eurocore. So it's a bit of a mirror match here today, and my VAB T2013 getting up and forward, dropping off hopefully some recon infantry in the town just in time as we see the blue 4 player is making his way into Alpha. And this is a lot of stuff. So the VAB trying to get some shots in. My Commandos Para probably should have turned off their tertiary and not moved in front of everybody, because I mean, he sees me now. He's going to be unloading things, playing a bit safer. You can see infantry walking up. And this is a big problem that I need to deal with. So VAB T2013 is coming up. VBL Mistral was in place to deny helicopters to this zone. But if I get pushed out of this section, then he becomes very vulnerable, especially because there are at least one AMX 10 RCSB back there. 40 points. Yeah, I mean, pre-nerf when it was a little bit cheaper, I think it was even more crazy. But still definitely a good option. And we did get a little bit lucky there, taking out some of his support, one of his vehicles on that side, with the VAB T2013s or something. I'm not actually sure what got the kill there. Interesting. I mean, I don't really have much else in the area, so it must have been the VABs. But I'm really just doubling down on this push. We're going in against Fallschirmjäger 90, but the PH2 Tiger was something I didn't really have an answer to. So, I mean, my Commandos Para moving up, my Leclerc is moving back. I'm keeping smoke on it, and the Roland 3s. I love these guys for anti-plane work, but this is such a split map, it always seems to be a little bit of a challenging thing to do. So, you bring both of those in, yeah, it secures India a bit more, but what do you do about Alpha? And sort of the way that I've had to think about it is I'm so much closer to my own air spawn over in Alpha than I am in India. So if I want to push there, I need anti-air, and if I want to push or defend over here, maybe I can use something else. So this was also pretty unfortunate. His Legion 90 versus my Legion 90, I mean, they should basically tie. One of them will roll a slight victory, but his got caught in the open getting into the town and get absolutely mulched by my own Legion 90 who are, I mean, they're worried, yes, but his have been shaken, panicked, things like that for a while now, and the DPS for my own Legion 90 is relatively unhindered. So that's a big loss. That's a lot of points. That is, of course, 50 points worth of losses there, and it also clears me up to move my Legion 90 back up and take out whatever these are, transports, maybe even bringing in more infantry. It doesn't look like it. Yeah, maybe not, but still. We also were able to just get the couple extra kills there, and then my 1390s and reservists are going to be tidying up the left side of Alpha and moving back in, or at least that's the goal. So on this side, you will have noticed it by now. The reason that this replay is named something sneaky or similar is because I got my AMX 10 RC and I just went. And this is something, not every faction has good amphibious units, and the 10 RC I think is one of the best of them, because 43 kilometers per hour amphibious is very fast. And you get recon, and you get a decent enough tank gun for ambush engagements, things like that. Not straightforward engagements, sure, but certainly ambush engagements. So he's going up, he's going to go around and then back through, and we'll see what we can get with him, as my India push has been stymied. I needed more on the ground there, but I wanted to deal with Alpha first, so that's why we have Commando Marine moving up, we have VABs moving up, the Legion here I do need to heal these guys, but they still have 15 strength. They're still relatively combat capable unless they run into Legion 90 or Commando Marine, maybe even Panzergrenadier 90. So I don't believe I take Panzergrenadier 90 outside of Martyr 2s in my ranked deck here, but we'll see. And then this was really good. So we spot the MX-10 RCSBs. They're just killing reservists right now, which is fine with me. And we're getting a couple of shots in. Now we do, I think these are heat. Yep, they're heat. And I almost wish I had kinetic range scaling on this at the moment. With the 10RC would already be dead. And we also did roll a bunch of misses, so about 50% accuracy each time, and we weren't able to get it all. And some of that is because we actually got taken out by an SPT Lux, which, yeah, autocannon's at close range. That's the same kinetic range scaling I was just talking about wishing I had. So I'm pulling my MX 1390 back and then bringing him forward, and just making sure the Lux is shooting at my reservist before I engage again. So I think I only needed about 2 shots from this. Yeah, I think so. Now maybe 3. Looks like 4 damage there off the first one. And then this was a bit of a mistake. So my Commandos Marine was supposed to go through the woods up to this section, and you can see I changed their direction right there, trying to get into the woods again, because I realized, no, bad. These guys are very expensive, and you cannot afford to have them killed in the open ground for nothing. But unfortunately here we do get shot by double 1390. I mean, I very much approve. It's the same thing I had over on this side. It's a wonderful combo, and we're going to be just force pathing to get away from the edge of the woods, because if I can get away from the edge of the woods, I might be able to have these guys stop shooting at me, which otherwise we would have really wrecked the Fallschirmjäger 90 on this side. Double Commando Marines would have been very nice here. Fortunately, we do get the kill, and we do get out. So a little bit of luck there, certainly staying away from the guns, the MX 1390s. If they'd stunned me, these guys would be dead. So that was potentially a really terrible mistake. So more 1390s moving up, more reservists moving up. I want to just sort of crush this side by force, and my opponent is no longer suffering tick as he has Cap Charlie to my Cap in Foxtrot. So I really need Alpha, and frankly losing India and not having a hold on Delta is a little bit scary. So I felt like I was a little bit above on kills, but not that much. And you can see I'm prepping another push into India as well, getting some more reservists for that. And I do still have a Leclerc over here. So the thought was if I could really just screen for him and push into India, that could end up pretty well. Plus I can just capitalize on my momentum on this side and try and get into the woods in Delta, maybe contest to that middle zone just to keep my opponent from having uncontested tick, which is never a good thing. I do also have some Commandos Para, some Vabs on this side, just a little bit of a defensive thing here. Not really sure it was necessary to go as thoroughly as I did, but better safe than sorry. And then this is what makes this game so short. So my 10RC gets back here, and one critical mistake from the Blue 4 player is just, it sinks him. And it really sucks to have that happen because nobody wants their game to be decided by one decision. But, so we see his fob, AMX 10RC is moving up. I was looking through the woods because a lot of people will put their command infantry or something like that, a command vehicle, in this big section of woods. And then I thought to myself, you know what? If his fob is right there, let's go up to this section of woods and then let's go over, because I didn't expect to see anything on the left-hand side. We did already drive through a little, and there it is. They're not in a town. That's the mistake. And this just felt really awful, because even as my 10RC is shooting in, I was sitting there going, oh man, if they were just in a town, I wouldn't have seen them. I wouldn't have been able to decap hotel like that. This would still be potentially recoverable for the Blue 4 player. So kills and losses, 450 kills, 220 losses, is a little bit lopsided, but you have to remember about 100 of that is from the command infantry at the end. So this was a tighter game than this first appears. Still, I mean, 3-2 in terms of kills losses without the command infantry is not great for my opponent, but it would have been a long game, a protracted game with many opportunities to get back into it. But, well, that is all we've got for you guys today. Hope you guys did enjoy. If you do, please don't hesitate to leave a like, share, subscribe, and all that YouTuber nonsense. It really does help me out. Well, we'll see you again real soon.